Do you know I went on a cruise recently? I've been banging on about it till I am blue in the face about what I thought about this cruise. So if you want the lowdown on Virgin Voyages, let's go. Hi there, I'm Christine the Gemini Stitcher and welcome to my sewing space. Yes, this is a sewing channel and today's going to be a little bit different, a different slant on things because we're going to have a chat about the Virgin Voyages cruise that I recently went on. But we are going to segue some sewing content in there as well because we're going to chat about some of the garments that I made and took with me and why I love them. So yeah, only the second cruise I've been on. Last cruise was with Morella and it was fine. Lot smaller ship. It was an all-inclusive. That didn't sit well with me, but apart from that, we had a great time. But the one that I really wanted to do when we booked the Morella cruise was the Virgin Voyages cruise on Scarlet Lady that went from Barcelona. So let's talk about my Virgin Voyages adventure as a virgin. There was a lot of things to do before you even arrived at the airport in Manchester. Every few weeks they were asking for more and more information, all done through the Virgin Voyages app. Some of it a little bit tricky for an oldie but goodie like me, scanning your passport in, putting lots of information in, credit card details. We all know we're a little bit nervous about letting those out into the world, but it was all very secure. So yeah, when it got nearer the time, I was getting, if I'm honest, I was getting a little bit fed up of them keep badgering me for information. Because that didn't happen on our last one, it was all done when we got to the port. And then the other difference with Virgin Voyages is they have 6 specialty restaurants and you have to book them, but they're all included in the price, which was amazing. So I think it was a couple of weeks before we left, we booked all our dining options. And that was interesting, to say the least, because they got booked up super quick. So let's talk about my experience of arriving in Barcelona and checking in onto Scarlet Lady. We arranged our own flights, which is what most people do who are travelling on Virgin Voyages. They can, I believe, sort flights out for you, but to be honest, it's easy enough to sort your own out these days online. So we flew Jet2 and landed in Barcelona at 11 o'clock in the morning. Now, with Virgin Voyages, you have to pre-book a check-in time, and they don't check in until 2 o'clock is the earliest in the afternoon. So I'd managed to get a 2:45 check-in. So we had from 11 o'clock till 2:45. And I was thinking, what on earth are we going to do? What are we going to do? So it was 12 o'clock by the time we'd got our cases and came trundling out of the arrivals. And there was a little coffee bar there, so we said, we're not in a rush. We sat, had a coffee and a sandwich at the airport before we left, just to kill time, really. And in hindsight, that was silly. Anyway, went outside, jumped in a taxi. A taxi from Barcelona airport down to the port was €42, so not particularly cheap, but hey, it is what it is. And gets in the taxi and he said, which dock are you going to? And I just said, well, the cruise ship dock. No, there's 3 of them. And I went, oh, well, we're on Scarlet Lady, we're going Virgin Voyages. And straight away he went, main dock 1, no problem. I thought, phew, thank God for that. So they obviously know about Scarlet Lady and Virgin Voyages. Whizzes us down to the dock. And as we went down the approach road, there was our ship. Beautiful Scarlet Lady, front and centre, in your face. Red everywhere. You could not miss Virgin Voyages unless you were blind. So he pulls up right outside, brilliant. And then we realised, had a chat to one of the numerous helpful staff buzzing around, and we could do bag drop. And what that means is we did a little queue, about 5-10 minutes, dropped all our cases off, all the luggage that we didn't want to have with us until we got on the ship. We just offloaded it, and then we could go off and do whatever we wanted until our allotted check-in time, boarding time. So I thought, we'll get back half an hour before our allotted time, just in case. So we had a good wander around the port area, beautiful things to look at, and then wandered back at 2:15. And oh my goodness, how organised were they? They had it all cordoned off into rows with signs above each row telling you what boarding time was that queue. So there was one with a big thing that said 2:45, join this queue. So that meant there wasn't a huge long line of people all queuing up at the same time. It didn't feel like it because you were all divided off, if you understand. Bang on 2:45, they opened the barrier and we went through. Now I timed, just because I'm sad, how long it was going to take us from lifting the barrier to actually setting foot on that ship. And no word of a lie, it was just short of 4 minutes. 4 minutes and we were on the ship. Everything had been done beforehand that needed to be done. She just needed, I think she needed our passports, or maybe she didn't. I might be wrong there. But she definitely needed our booking reference, and that was it. She brought it all up on her screen. Everything was done. She gave us both I called them magic wristbands each, which was just a red elasticated wristband with a little grey plastic gizmo on it that did everything. And I mean everything. Well, it didn't go to the loo for you, but it was pretty flipping close. Straight to our room, wristband, scan it on your door, lets you into your room. Every time you walk into your room, if the curtains are drawn, as soon as you walk into the room, the curtains automatically open halfway so that you're not walking into a dark room. How brilliant is that? So when you go on board, when you go on a cruise, you have to do your onboard safety. And on Virgin, it's all done in the comfort of your cabin on the TV in your cabin. So you sit and watch that while you're unpacking your cases. Perfect. By the time you've unpacked your cases, it's all done. The only thing you have to do is go and find your muster station, say hi, tick you off on the list, all good to go. So yeah, that was pretty well planned out as well, I thought, because it's an inconvenience. Nobody wants to do it, but you have to. So you didn't feel like you were wasting your time. Well, I didn't anyway. So let's talk about the cabin. It was a really good size. We had a balcony cabin, and on your balcony with Virgin Voyages, you get a hammock seat swing. There it is. There's me swinging away on it. Thought it would be a bit gimmicky, if I'm honest. But my goodness, it was so comfortable. We were fighting over it. So small balcony, but plenty big enough. The bed's super comfy, which is the main thing, isn't it? And you have a little console unit that controls everything in your room, from the TV to the lights to the curtains, everything from a little console, which has a charging station. You can take it off so you'll be sat up in bed controlling everything at your leisure, which was wonderful. And I did. Bathroom, obviously small, good size shower, walk-in shower, good size sink, and a loo, and a mirror. The wardrobe space, obviously, it's always limited on a ship, but plenty enough for me. Most of my stuff got hung up, and that's all that matters. The hubster fitted in round me. Perfect. So that's the room. Oh, one last thing with the room that I liked. On Virgin Voyages, they're plastic free. So they don't leave plastic bottles of water in your room. They have these beautiful glass carafes that they fill with water for you that have a stopper on the top. Really good idea. So that's what my first tip for going on a Virgin Voyages cruise. Make sure you have a water bottle with you, because you can't get bottled water. You just refill it at the water stations, which was fine. So then we decided, we had a quick change into some nice swimwear because it was boiling hot, brilliant weather. And we decided to have a wander round up on deck. Just as we were about to leave, the maid tapped on the door, or your cabin steward, as they call them, and lovely girl said, were we new to Virgin Voyages? Yes. So she went through all the gadgets and gizmos in the room with us, and most importantly, explained about room service and the cleaning regime. So inside the wardrobe, near the door, you have a little console unit, and there's 3 options that you can press. If you don't press anything, you don't get any cleaning. You can press do not disturb, you can press that you want clean towels only, or you can press full clean. And you select that when you leave the room in the morning, and then the maid knows what to do. Thought that was really clever. So what about the rest of the ship? I've divided this into sections. So the first section is going to be out on deck, the main pool area, and sunbathing. And the gym, because the gym's on the same deck. So we popped up onto the deck. I had a wander round. Beautiful, obviously. The sun was out, which always makes a difference. Lots and lots of sun lounges on deck 15, and then you can go up to deck 16, which is a deck higher than the pool area. Loads and loads of sun lounges there as well, and that was my preferred spot, if I'm honest. And then if you go right to the back of the ship at the wake, there's huge comfy seating area, sun lounger area there as well, with its own bar. So lots of places to lie, and that area at the back of the ship is a quiet area, so there's no blaring music. So if you get sick of listening to music all day, go down to the wake area and chill. There's always somewhere you can go for some peace and quiet. So 10 out of 10 for the sunbeds, 10 out of 10 for the seating areas. The pool was tiny. It was a plunge pool. Now, I know they're all small on ships, but if you're going on your cruise to swim lengths, then this is not the ship for you. I liked it because I'm not a swimmer, and it had a huge shelf all the way round that was wading deep, so you could lie in it to cool off without having to get into the pool itself. I thought that was great. And then also, to compensate for the size of the pool, they also have a massive multi-person hot tub. Similar to what you'd get if you were at the gym, probably a bit bigger, if I'm honest. And then quite a few normal hot tubs scattered around here and there. So plenty of places to cool down in the water, if that's your bag. Let's talk about the gym. Ah, it was brilliant. They had everything that you would need in a gym and more. And they have lots and lots of regular classes. This is the one thing I didn't plan for, and I hadn't taken any gym gear with me. And if I went again, I would definitely take some gym wear and gym shoes and utilise those facilities because they were second to none. There's also a spa on this floor. I didn't go in there, so I can't comment on that, but the prices look really reasonable. So let's talk food. As I've already said, 6 restaurants, and their buffet restaurant, they don't do the traditional buffet restaurant, they have the galley, and the galley is their version of your buffet restaurant, except no food is kept warm under heat lamps at all. You can't just pick food up yourself, so no worry about getting germs off anybody else. Everything's behind glass cabinets, even the cold food is. If, say, you wanted a burger, they had a burger bar, you ask for your burger and it is made fresh to order. All the food, hot food in the galley was freshly made, which was amazing. So they had tacos, they had a salad bar, they had a burger bar, they had bento boxes that you could take away and eat in your room or by the pool. They had an area that did different meals every day. I'm sure I've missed something else out, but you can get my drift. Lots of different individual places to go and get your food. As for queuing, some people have said, well, you'll be queuing. I hardly queued at all, and our ship was full. So loved the galley. Went there for breakfasts and a few lunches. Absolutely brilliant. Loved it. And then the restaurants, I'll be popping them all up here because I can't go through them all, but they were all amazeballs. And my personal favourite, our personal favourite, was the wake because we are big steak lovers. We like a nice steak when we go out for a meal, and the filet mignon in the wake is second to none. So I don't think you're going to go hungry on a Virgin Voyages cruise. And the quality of the food, I would definitely say it is above 5-star. Absolutely brilliant. Oh, the other place that I liked was the test kitchen. That was absolutely brilliant. That's I think it was about a 7-course tasting menu, and some of the things we had were a little bit different, but it was good fun and really, really good quality food again. So there's the food from my brief overview. I could go on and on about all the different things I've been talking about in one vlog, but you'd get bored. So we're going to touch on the entertainment, and then I will show you my 3 favourite garments that I took with me, what they are and why. Entertainment was very different in a good way for me personally. If you're the sort of person who likes to go and sit in a theatre and have a traditional variety type show, you're going to be disappointed because you ain't getting that. We went to 2 shows, only 2, because of meal times, and there were lots of other things to do as well. Oh, there's a casino, so if you're into your slot machines and a bit of the cards, there's that. There's a traditional pub where they do quizzes, etc. That was really fun. We went in there one night and it was their version of Mr. and Mrs., which was hilarious. And then there's bars. All the bars have their own entertainment in, singers, pianists, comedians, all sorts going on. So you have to look on the Virgin app and see what's going on that evening and choose what you want to do, which is why we only went to 2 actual shows, because there was lots of other types of entertainment not in, called the Red Room, which is where their version of your theatre, but it's not. So the 2 shows we went to was one that was music through the eras, and it said that it was a show, but it was. And that's all I'm going to tell you, because if there's people watching this going on a Virgin Voyage, just go with the flow, go to that show, and if you're into a boogie, you'll love it. And then the other show that we went to was called Dual Reality, and that was very much a Cirque du Soleil type show with a very big difference. It was done Virgin Voyages style. Everything is unique on that ship. So yeah, enjoyed that as well. And again, I'm not going to tell you anything about it because it's one that would be spoilt if I told you what happened. So there we go. That's what I thought of Scarlet Lady. Before I show you the garments that I loved that I took with me, would I go on a Virgin Voyages cruise again? Abso-flipping-lutely. I saw one to do the Greek islands not last minute because it's in October, so have a look if you're interested in doing a week's cruise around the Greek islands in October with a balcony cabin, exactly what we had. You can get that for £2,000 all in for the 2 of you. It's £1,000 each, including all your food, all your soft drinks, and all your entertainment. What's not to like? I can't go on another cruise this year. I'd love to, but I'm stopping myself. And I'd probably do that one sometime next year because I quite fancy the Greek islands. So let's talk clothes. Now, these are 3 garments. All my wardrobe that I took with me, I'd made myself this time. Super proud of myself. The first time I've managed to go away with everything being made. And I got a few compliments on my clothes as well, which is lovely, isn't it? So I've chosen 3. 1 that I like and 2 that I got a nice compliment on. They're all very different, and I've chosen them for different reasons. So here's the first outfit. I had so many compliments and comments on this outfit in one day. We did a trip to Portofino. Oh, loved it to bits. And I wore this outfit. There's an image of me wearing it in Portofino. So the shirt or blouse is a pattern I've had for a long time. I'll put the pattern number up there. Just a little short blouse with slits in the side, and I wore this with a white vest top underneath so that I had layers and I could take it on, take it off, or keep it on. And it's teamed with my free range slacks shorts. These shorts work brilliant, and the free range slacks have a separate panel down the side. So I played with the direction of the pattern. So this was a great outfit. I wore it in the evening first because on Virgin Voyages there is no dress code. They don't like you to go into any of the dining rooms or the galley in wet swimwear, but apart from that, it's wear what you want. Which was great for the hubster because he's not keen on having to wear long trousers in the evening, I've got to be honest. So he was happy with that. And I was, because it meant I didn't have to wear dresses every night. I could wear what I felt like wearing. So one night I wore these. Perfect. And then once I'd worn it in the evening, I recycled it and wore it during the day. And I wore it twice during the day. One morning, I was stood sorting my morning brew out in the galley. And a lovely American lady came and tapped me on the shoulder. She went, "Where have you got that outfit from? It is absolutely adorable." And I had a nice chat with her about sewing, and it was lovely. So, lots of compliments. Love the outfit. So, I'll probably make another one for next year. Fit number 2 is the Trillion dress made by Ray. Linen, viscose linen, this from Guthrie and Garney. I put the U detail in the front. It has little cap sleeves. Now the back is meant to be sheer and elastic, but I've created a channel and put a wide piece of elastic in. That's my preference and I prefer it. But yeah, just above, just a knee length-ish, nice linen dress. Again, that can be worn in the evening and during the day. So I did the same with this. I wore it one evening, got loads of compliments on it. Here's me wearing it in the evening. And then recycled it and wore it on one of the cooler days when we were out and about. The last one. Now, I did plan on possibly wearing this during the day, but it is quite long and a frill on the bottom. This is the Tilly and the Buttons Mabel dress with the added frill on the end. And I wore this in the evening, swooshing around the ship. Felt great in it. And the reason I picked this as one of my favourite garments is because 2 of the waitresses behind one of the bars, both young girls, actually fell in love with this dress. And I spent a good 20 minutes chatting to them, explaining how it was made, what the pattern company was called. They were so lovely and so interested. And one of them sewed and she's saved the pattern. So hopefully there will be a Mabel dress on Scarlet Lady. How fab is that? So there we go. I hope I haven't bored you too much. Cruise all done. Bring on the next one. I'm definitely going on a Virgin Voyages cruise again. It was so my type of cruise. Really lovely staff, good value for money, fabulous restaurants. The only thing I've not mentioned is alcohol because I don't drink a lot of alcohol. If you believe that, you'll believe anything. They do it a little bit differently. Now, Morella was all inclusive, not my thing, because it deteriorates the quality of the drinks and everybody drinks too much. That's all I'm saying on it. I think other cruise companies do drinks packages, which I'm not sure how they work. But what Virgin Voyages do is a bar tab. So when I booked, I got a $300 bar tab thrown in with the booking. And if you don't get that, then you can buy a $300 bar tab before you get on the ship and you get extra dollars added on. I'm not sure how many, maybe you get an extra $50. But don't quote me on that one. But it worked out really well. I said about the gadget on your hand, that scanned every time you ordered a drink and it took it off your bar tab and you could check it anytime you wanted on the Virgin app while you were on the ship. I didn't tell you as well, you get free Wi-Fi. Yes! Do you know, that was brilliant because on Morella you didn't, and the only time I could check whether you guys were watching me in your comments was when I got off the ship. Not good. So to get free Wi-Fi, brilliant. And before I go, I'll just run through the little wristband thing because I've not mentioned it much, have I? So I said it controlled everything apart from when you went to the loo. You used it, scanned it to get on and off the ship. So you didn't have a lanyard that you could lose or any of that. You just scanned it at a machine and it let you off. Scanned it when you got back on, just so that they knew you got off the ship and that you'd come back on as well. So it did that. It opened your room. It did your bar tab. What more can I say? You just wore it all week. And it was brilliant. Absolutely flipping brilliant idea. So I'm saving my pennies up now. I'll have to not buy as much fabric or patterns and save that money up towards my next Virgin voyage. Hope you've enjoyed. Hope I've given you lots of interesting information about Virgin Voyages. And I hope you like the garments that I enjoyed wearing as well. I will see you next Monday for Monday Makes and Plans. Take care, everybody. Lots of love. See you soon.